Hi, welcome back. My name is Ruben, and today we're doing part 2 of the Young Entrepreneur video series. Last time I did this video, I gave you an insight into a little bit of what my journey's been like as a young entrepreneur. Today, we're going to go and address some questions that I got based on feedback. So the first question, what does a young entrepreneur do for fun? Well, that really depends on the week. Some weeks when I have a really busy schedule and I'm drained at the end of the week, all I want to do is stay home and watch a good documentary or movie. Sounds kind of lame, I know, but it's a lot of fun. Throughout the course of the week, one of the best and most exciting activities I do is I get to the gym. I really like to lift weights, and I also like yoga class. And although a lot of people see exercise as a dreaded chore, for me it's one of the best parts of my day. Something about the physical activity after taking a break from sitting in front of a computer or driving in a car and meeting people. I just get out of my head and I get really focused, present, and in the moment. What else do we have here? How do you make sure you're taking enough time for yourself? Well, I would answer this question the same way anybody should answer this question. How do you spend your time in general? Are you taking an inventory of your time? Have you mapped out what your life should look like? And if so, how close do you fit that time inventory? So if you've never heard this concept, this is probably something I should do another video about. But basically, every single one of us has 168 hours in our week. And it's up to us as the leaders of our own lives to decide how we want that week to look. Part of what I do is I schedule time for myself as well as time for others and time for the activities I enjoy. So I take a look at, on a weekly or monthly basis, how well does my plan match my reality? So then I guess to make sure I'm taking enough time, it's really asking the people around me, hey, what do you think's going on in my life? And making sure that they feel confident to give me that feedback. Another question on here, how does your family react to the work hours? This has changed. At first, they were worried, like, why are you working so late? Why are you working on Saturdays and Sundays? You need to take time off. And over time, I've gotten better at taking time off, but what they've learned is being an entrepreneur is a full-time job. Now, I might be doing activities related to my job, my career, building my company brand 80 hours a week, but it doesn't mean that it's all real work, and I've come to really enjoy that. So I guess at first they reacted with shock and kind of not really knowing how things went, but now they just know that's part of the territory. Another thing on here, how do you stay driven when your workload is heavy? The biggest thing to me is being grounded in what is the purpose for being an entrepreneur. I know for a fact I'm just wired this way, and I have no choice but to find problems and confront them with solutions. So I'm gonna have to do that anyways. I could either do it somewhere where I don't really have a full say in what goes on and be miserable, or I could do it for my dream. And now that I know it's for my dream, then I've really got no choice but to kind of suck it up and take on that workload. So staying driven really means consuming content that's gonna help me remember why I do this. I just finished listening to the audiobook from Charlemagne the God. I forget what it's called, but I think it's something like Black Privilege. And I really got a lot out of it because he's somebody who's an entertainer, he's somebody who interviews people and is around pop culture, and you wouldn't necessarily think has a lot of deep insight to share, but that couldn't be further from the truth. He shared his story about how he stays connected to his roots and about how he's achieved success at such a high level, and a lot of that has to do with studying other successful people who are seemingly unlike him. So I get a lot of motivation by watching documentaries about successful people from all kinds of industries, and it gets me reminded that even though I'm at a place right now where people think I'm successful, I know I'm only scratching the surface. And knowing that I've just got that much more of the mountain to climb and that much more of the building to build, that helps me stay driven and know that I'm nowhere near ready to give up. And the last question is, can a young entrepreneur have it all? I'll answer that the same way I'd answer it for anyone else. Hell no. No one can have it all. What's important is deciding what can you not live without and making sure you build that into your lifestyle. So when I first started this company, I looked at my life as an opportunity to build a pyramid, to have a very wide base of all the things that were important to me, and to know that I might get there a little slower than other people, but I'd at least have the lifestyle I wanted to maintain. One of the pitfalls of business I saw is a lot of people focused 100% on work and making money, and they didn't have the life they wanted. And then around 35 or 40, they said, okay, now I'll pay attention to my health, now I'll make relationships with my family members, now I'll take care of my mental well-being. And the problem with that is all of a sudden you get to a place you want to change everything, and it's very hard. So I thought, why don't I build a nice balanced lifestyle? Now the problem is 4 years later, that pyramid is starting to get a little bit more narrow, and I don't have time to do all the things that got me here, so I really have to pick. So my best advice, pick the things you can't live without. For me, that's getting enough sleep, that's making sure I'm taking care of my mental and emotional health through various spiritual practices, that's painting, it's getting to the gym, and making time for family and friends. That's a lot of things, and to some people, you might say, how do you accomplish all of those? Make your time inventory. Now, for me, spending time with family and friends doesn't look like let's spend all day going somewhere and just hanging out. It might only be 2 to 3 hours at a time, but at least I make sure that I'm present in the moment for those 2 to 3 hours. So that's it for today's video. I hope you got some value out of it. I'm really enjoying this series, and I look forward to throwing out more answers to your questions. Have a great day and much love.